Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name's Julian Miazza, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about what it's like being a non-rate in the Coast Guard. So I've been a non-rate now for 3.5 years, and it's been a really great experience. I'm kind of moving on from being a non-rate now. It has been by choice. Um, I can make another video kind of going over what my experience has been like, but for this video, specifically about what you might experience when you join the Coast Guard as a non-rate. So you just get out of boot camp, maybe you just got out of high school, you went through boot camp, you're shaken up, um, you know, you, going to your first unit's going to be a big deal. If you're on a boat, maybe you're at a sector, maybe you're at an ant like I am, it's going to be a pretty nerve-wracking experience. When you get to your unit, you're gonna have to learn how to reacclimate into this kind of new military civilian type lifestyle, especially for land units. When you're at a land unit, it's very mixed. People are very more maybe civilianized than they were, like, let's say if they're on a boat, and that's just because we get to go home every day. If you're at a small boat station, you get to go home every couple days, but you have a home, you have friends outside of work, maybe you've got a family, maybe. It's very almost normal. It feels very civilian like in that sense. So you're gonna have to kind of reacclimate with a military mindset, military bearing, but still having a very normal type of working environment. Now, you are going to be going on missions as a non-rate. A lot of times you are going to be involved in some intense stuff. Lots of times if you could be doing drug interdiction if you're on a patrol boat or on a cutter. If you're at a small boat station, you might be doing law enforcement. You might be doing patrols, looking for a body or a person. There could be some real heavy stuff, and you're going to be involved in that as a non-rate in the Coast Guard. You're not going to have the same types of responsibilities like driving the boat, having to do a lot of the paperwork. The responsibility is not going to fall so much on you, but it is your responsibility to maintain whatever your level, whatever's expected of you at your unit. So if it's to be a boarding team member, it's going to be expected to be able to do law enforcement, to be able to know the different levels of threat, to be able to detain someone, to be able to shoot someone if you have to. You have to know what is expected in a certain situation, and that is a lot of responsibility, and that is going to be put on you when you do get to your unit. It's going to come in time, though. When you're a non-rate, you don't really have any specific job. Sometimes people joke and say, what do you do here? Because for a non-rate, you're going to have to get qualified. You have to learn. You have to develop in your career. You have to become confident enough to be able to perform these different duties that are going to be expected of you. For those of you that are maybe going to these real short A schools, like YN, BM, CS, culinary specialists, things like that, you might not be at your unit long enough to be able to really get the full experience. But if you're going on one of these longer weight school lists like ME, stuff like that, and you're at a law enforcement unit, yeah, there's going to be more expected of you than someone that's just kind of gonna come in and then leave. So you're gonna be new. There's gonna be a whole new experience, and they're gonna put pressure on you. They're gonna put pressure on you to get qualified as soon as possible, because when you're at your unit, you can't do anything until you're qualified. So you're not gonna be able to maybe be a boarding team member. You can't drive the boat. You can't be a crew member, a boat crew member. You won't be able to stand watch. A lot of these things that you have to be taught how to do, and you have to learn it. And until you have that qualification that is recorded in the Coast Guard and it's tracked, and you have currencies, things that you have to keep up to date, until you have that qualification, you can't really do too much besides study, learn, and just kind of be there to learn how to do it. So that's going to be your biggest responsibility as a non-rate. You can't think about college. You can't think about, what am I going to do with all my Coast Guard money now? It's going to be, how can I help my unit to be able to fill this role, because you are taking over someone else's job. Someone else was there that had been there for maybe a long time, and they had a lot of experience, a lot to contribute, and now you're having to fill this person's position. I just kind of think about that when you get to your unit. It's not just take your time, kind of make friends with everybody. There's a lot of pressure on you to be able to do that. When I was at a small boat station, every day it was pressure to get qualified, because that's your whole job when you're at a small boat station, is to be qualified in order to help your crew not have to depend so much on the small amount that's there. You have to be a contributing factor in that. You're gonna get qualified. Maybe it's gonna take, depending on where you're at. If you're on a sector, your qualifications might be gate watch standard, and you could do that in maybe a month. Some units, like at the sector, they might let you put your name on an A school list right away, because you're more expendable. They can get another non-rate in and then just kind of let them go. When you're at a small boat station or an ant or something like that, it's typically, you can kind of typically expect to have to wait 6 months before you can put your name on an A school list. For non-rates, it's typically around 6 months, 6 to 8 months, depending on where you're at, in order to receive your qualification and in order to put your name on an A school list. So, once you're there, once you're getting qualified, your next kind of mission is to get your name on an A school list, so you can wait in order to become, in order to go to your class to become a petty officer. So you've been at your unit, you're getting trained up, you're getting closer to that time, you're about to take your qualification boards, you've shown how much you've learned, how much you've developed, and then once your command sees that you are qualified, that you are recommended to advance, because you can't advance in the Coast Guard unless someone says that you are recommended to advance. Once you do that, then it's kind of the waiting game. Depending on which A school list you go to, some of them are 3 months, some of them are less than a month, some of them are up to three years. Then you're gonna have a job. You're gonna be doing things. Maybe if you're there for a long time, you're gonna probably be the lead seaman, the lead fireman, the lead person in your department, and there's gonna be more expected of you. It's not gonna be to the responsibility of like a petty officer, but you have to be able to do things. You have to be able to direct people. You have to show the new non-rates, train them, get them up to speed. And that's basically going to be your job from that point on, is helping other non-rates become qualified and work with them, and then also maintaining things called collateral duties. So you might be a morale team member, you might be a battery storage person, you might be MMA, so having to do with the cleaning supplies, or hazmat, having to do more types of cleaning supplies and stuff like that. So really, you're gonna have a job as a non-rate. When you first get there, it's gonna be nerve-wracking. You're not gonna know. You're gonna have to learn how to function as a Coast Guardsman. After that, you're going to be ready to put your name on an A school list, and then once your name is on the A school list, you're gonna be more kind of focused on helping other people grow, develop, learning, and kind of working towards becoming a petty officer. So that's kind of what you guys can expect being a non-rate in the Coast Guard. It's going to go kind of unit by unit. Like I said, if you're on a boat with a lot more people, maybe less is expected of you, more might be expected in certain situations. It really just depends on where you end up, how big your crew is, how much they depend on you. which depends on the size and the scope of work that is expected. So I hope this video was helpful, guys. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments section down below. Like this video if you did, because it shows me that I'm making quality videos that are helping you and helping you to grow into potential Coast Guardsmen. Be sure to subscribe because I've got more content coming out like this, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace out.